Steve Ellinger, and as always, I have Phil and Mary with me here today on Clay Target Legends. And Phil, we are honored today to have Coach Ann Mauro. And Mauro, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Ann.
So I am the head coach at the University of Maryland of their Clay Target team. Started the team back in 2011. There was a group of, it was a very informal little kind of team there, and some of the athletes knew of me and asked if I would help out, and I said absolutely. And from there, within the first year, led them to their first regional championship. My sole goal when I started all of this was to just create lifelong shooters. Anything we won along the way would be icing on the cake. We've iced a couple cakes along the way, which is quite nice. And, it's all about building the future of the sport, which is our youth.
Well, so Ann, you and I actually shot together here at the national championship one year.
Yes.
And watching you shoot in your form and style, I can't think of a better person to coach athletes like you have been doing. So what's it like coaching these students?
So they are absolutely, of everything I do, they are my pride and joy, as everybody knows. And like I said, it is truly the future of the sport. So we really need to invest our time and effort into building those programs. We are very fortunate, especially in Maryland. A lot of people tell me, well, we can't believe that you even have a team at the University of Maryland. And the university is beyond supportive with what they give us in fundings and people in the community that come out for fundraisers to help out. It's really a team effort, and we're thrilled to be here, which is we're filming right now during the Collegiate Nationals here in San Antonio, which is wonderful. So,
well, I've heard that you've been given a really prestigious honor in 2025. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes, I've been named the 2025 Industry Woman of the Year with the NRA. I will receive in May at the Atlanta World Congress Center the most prestigious Golden Bullseye Award, which is highly sought after in the industry. So it truly is an honor, but it's from all my work that I've done, from designing firearms for women, all the programming I do here during the NSCA Nationals for women, teaching all over the country, coaching, doing all of that. And my team is co-ed, but I do a lot of work with the women in particular too, to get them involved.
So we're gonna come back to the coaching just a minute, because you mentioned that you have been a firearms designer.
Yes.
And as I recall, you had designed the siren.
So it was part of the design with the siren shotgun, making that all, what it is today, which is wonderful to see. And then from there went on and designed out for Blaser, the F-16 Intuition, which was really wonderful. And there's a couple other guns coming out with other manufacturers. That's very exciting. So there's just something wonderful for everybody, which is great.
I feel like we're sitting here with a legend.
Yeah.
Sitting here with Ann and her coaching and her firearms designing, and her name attached to some of the most well-known shotguns in the sport.
Well, we are so lucky to have somebody that had that attitude and pushed forward on this to get it to happen, because it's something that's been needed in the shooting sports for years and years. How many women wanted to try it, but they ended up using their husband's gun that dented them in the shoulder or something like that, and they never wanted to do it again. Well, Ann has been able to, with the designers and things, come up with something to come up with those shotguns so those women can go out there and have a wonderful afternoon with their husband.
Absolutely. And it's that, new in the box, the standard shotgun does not fit women. We're designed a little differently there, built different. So
as a coach and working with these athletes, do you have instances where somebody says, I've never done this before, but I see it on television, I like the sport, I don't own a shotgun, I don't know anything about it? You got to mold me from the beginning.
Yes. So which is wonderful with the team that I have everyone from those just literally just starting out that are like, I would like to see what this is about, to those that have been, for example, on the national 4-H team, from maybe potentially whatever state they're from, if they're transferred in. And it's wonderful. We even have some international athletes that come in, that they're potentially getting an advanced degree or something, and they may live in a country where they do not have access to firearms, and we get to share that with them.
Well, give us a quick plug for the University of Maryland. Tell us about it.
We are fearless. That is our motto. And anybody who knows me will know I live up to that
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
fearless.
I know
You know that. You have to be. So, and that's just, the University of Maryland truly is a phenomenal school. We're the one of the Big Ten, and in that whole conference division. The team I have here, we're in Division I, which is really wonderful. And, they're shooting strong. And there again, like I said, it's all about creating lifelong shooters. That's my sole goal.
Most importantly, she's instilled the confidence for them to break targets, but she's also made it that breaking targets isn't the end of the thing. There's a certain thing of maturity and knowing how to lose and things like that. And this is so important nowadays, and I really commend you on what you've done.
Thank you.
Well, and one of the things here this week in San Antonio at the national championships is, and Phil and I were talking about this earlier, is the quality level of these athletes and
Yes.
students. They're very well-grounded, respectful, polite individuals. That's amazing. How do you instill those values into them?
So a lot of them, they already come with those values. Already instilled, where there's this whole bit that, they're college, they're crazy, and it's firearms and all that. I personally do not see that. And they know and of course, we have amazing sponsors for our team. And with that, they understand of how they need to carry themselves. The teaching them how to shoot, I hate to say it, but that's really kind of somewhat the easy part. It's the other lifelong skills as a coach that you are instilling in them. And it's really amazing to see where a lot of my athletes, I've stayed in touch with so many of them over the years.
Good.
And what they're now doing, in their lives. It's amazing to see.
As someone who's in charge of this program, tell us about sponsors and people who've developed sponsorships with.
Yes, so we have tremendous sponsors. Everything from Beretta USA sponsors our team, and of course them being in Accolades, Maryland. And we also have SGS Glasses, shooting glasses specialist.
Fantastic.
Robinson Family is tremendous. Blue Lean is our sunscreen.
Wow.
And they were a startup lab at the University of Maryland, and they went on to create the first FDA-approved Coral Safe sunscreen. And we were the first sports team at the University of Maryland that they reached out to sponsor.
Fantastic.
And just tremendous other sponsors that we have, and our parents and grandparents that step in to help. That right there is a lot of these schools, and you see that they're here now.
So how many athletes do you have here this week?
So I have just over 60 on the team, and we have 15 that we brought here this week.
And where do you practice mostly and do your training?
So our training is mostly done on obviously the East Coast, and that right there we are at Prince George's Trap and Skeet Center.
My old gun club.
There you go. So you know that very well. And we have a tremendous training range. We're only one of the few ranges in the country that we have all the disciplines that are offered there. And then we also train at Point at Pintail. Another fabulous range on the eastern shore of Maryland. Also M&M up in Pennsville, New Jersey, the Matarese family. We train up there at their phenomenal range.
What advice would you give? So let's say that we had a young high school girl or young guy that wanted to become part of your program, and they said, "What do I need to do to become a part of your program?"
So I'm obviously, because I travel all over everything what I do around the country, I get to meet a lot of people will introduce youth to me saying, can you help them? And it's not always about recruiting someone to come to Maryland. It's giving them here's all the information of here are all the schools around the country, and here's how to search out where programs can be checked out and seen, and because they have to make ultimately the choice of what's best for them, of where they want to go to school. And there's a wide variety of programming out there, from schools that offer sponsorships to those that don't.
What's the hardest thing to overcome with an athlete when you're training them to get them to be successful?
It's really all based on what's going on with them in the moment. So sometimes it can be something, it has nothing to do with the shooting part. It's they're coming to a training and, they may have a big exam, or there's just something else going on that as a coach, you really get to know them in depth. And they get to know you. I mean, not only are we a team, but we really are a family. And you really do develop that, which is really key, I think, to becoming a successful coach. They know that they can reach out to you over anything. And the more you can understand them and what they're going through and what they need, you can really just help them fulfill their goals and staying positive.
Sure. Tom, so how did you get started shooting?
I got started shooting. The first time I ever shot a gun was 6 months ago. And my friend who was prior on the team, she had the same name as me. She was like, hey, you want to come to the range? And I just randomly showed up one day. And now I have the best of the best.
Coach Mauro there, right? So what did your parents think when you said, I've never shot a gun, but I'm going to be on the shotgun team?
I think that other people had more of an idea of what my parents thought than my parents themselves. I was like, your dad must be so proud. My dad was just, he thought I was funny.
So did everybody else come from a shooting background?
I did not.
You did not?
I had a similar story. I have a friend who used to be on the team and she recently graduated. And she brought two of us along and kind of showed us the ropes, and I haven't left even though she did.
Great. So did you go home then and tell your parents I'm going to be a shotgun team member?
I did.
And what did they say?
My mom was a little indifferent and probably a little bit nervous, and my dad was also indifferent but probably a little bit proud.
If a friend of yours came up to you in school or whatever and say, I can't believe you're doing this, would you recommend that I do this? It would be a lot of fun. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that it's the most fun. I think it's really fun because you get to spend time outside and like there's always room for improvement, and everyone here is just so supportive and like a really great group of people. So I feel like Maryland, I felt so at home like the first time. Yeah.
Great. Well, so what advice would you give somebody that's never done this before that you would like to see do it? What would you say?
I'd say it takes time, you know, go through the steps, go through the motions, give yourself the time you need, and you'll get there eventually.
You're doing a great job. Your reputation precedes you, and you just need to keep on doing what you're doing because you're bringing the sport to high ground and what you're doing, and it's just fantastic.
You're a clay target legend.
Thank you.
So do you have, if somebody wants more information about the Maryland team, how do they find that?
So they can just go on and just search the University of Maryland Clay Target Team and see what comes up.
Good. Well, this has been Clay Target Legends. On behalf of Phil Murray, I'm Steve Ellinger and Ann Mauro.
Yes.
Thank you very much.